So the other part of that entry, as I mentioned, is the VAT account, and let's see if there are more than one of those. There's VAT debit there. We first take care of the debits. There's a VAT debit there. There's a VAT debit there. And those are the VAT debits. So what you do to account for those is you go into your cell reference for VAT. Here's VAT on the debit side of the adjustments, and you start a formula equal, and then you go down to the first VAT entry, which is that one, and then you enter plus, and you go down to the next one, plus, and you go down to the next one, which is D63, and I don't think there are any others, no? And then you enter. So now you have a look at your VAT account, and the debits there are those three cell references, D51, 56, 63, the 51, D51, 63, and I'm missing one, and 56. Okay, so that's the debit amounts for VAT. And let's go down to our entries. VAT, first adjustment there, debtors. Are there any other debtor accounts? Creditor, there's a debtor on there, debit, debtors. Okay, so there's one debtor debit and one debtor credit. So let's go to debtors and sort that one out first. So let's find debtors here in our list. Where would debtors be? Oh, here we go. Okay, so let's first so you say equal, and then you go down to the debtors debit for the sale of the equipment, and you enter, and it will go in there now as a debit. And then let's do the credit side, which is that amount that you were involved in a write-off. Debtors is 42,000, and you enter that, and that is in the that column now. So let's go down to the entries. We've dealt with the depreciation, we've dealt with that account. Now we need to deal with the repairs and maintenance expense, and there was only one of those, so that is D55, repairs and maintenance. It's a debit because it's an expense, equal D55. Was that the right reference? 16305, yeah. We've dealt with the VAT. We need to now deal with creditors. Creditor is increased here. Are there any other creditors? There's another creditor here. Oh, sorry, that was a debtor rather. Creditor over there. creditor over there, creditor over here, and a creditor over there. So in this case, the creditor's got a debit over there. Are there any other debits for creditors? No, only that one. So that is D72 equal D72, and then we will do the creditors. So we go down to all the credits equal that one plus there's another one, that one. I think those were a lot. So your creditors, the credit amount is that. Such that. Oh, we didn't do the credit side of that. We must go back and do that. Such that. So what were the credits there? That. There's the VAT of 1,500 Rand on the creditor for stock. So it is D74, I mean E74 rather. Sure, if okay, so that's the amount in there for that. Where were we? We've done debtors. There's the maintenance creditors. I think now we need to do the water, electricity, rates, utilities, telephone, and yeah, I think we've dealt with that VAT. So we need to do these expense accounts, water and electricity. It's an expense, so if they equal okay, rates and utilities equal and then what was the other one? Here's my rates and utilities. Telephone. This telephone must be a debit. $1,700, and so we've taken care of those adjustments. Creditor, debtor, NGO, I think we've dealt with that. I don't think we've dealt with the loss on sale of equipment. No, we haven't. So we need to bring that in there, and that as a debit, or loss as a debit. Okay, so now I think we've got everything in here. So let's just do a quick check. I'm going to just highlight, we need to go back up here. We haven't done this entry. Yeah, we haven't done this entry. It needs to be adjusted as well. Because remember, we sold equipment for 2,000. So we need to adjust this formula. And the way I'm going to adjust that is, we've got, no, we don't need to adjust this formula. We need to, yeah, we did. Sorry, we did take the equipment out of it. So, yeah, okay, so let's just do a check. 1,33332 and see if this is balancing. 1,23332, so there's a 10,000 value missing, so that must be the stock. We didn't do the stock, so you can see how you can check this. Where's the stock? inventory. Remember, we took out 10,000 Rand in a journal entry, so we need to equal that and go down to the inventory account, and now we hopefully will balance. So I'm going to just take this formula. You see there's a formula in here for this whole column there, and that formula can just be, in fact, let me rather do it from scratch. So you say equal sum to sum all values in a certain range. You color that in like that. So that's 13332, and we just do a manual one here as well. You could do that in a different way. I'm just doing it the long way. So you can see the debits equal the credits. So our formulas have all been taken into account. Okay, so before we go into the final column, I just wanted to show you something else that is doing the same thing, but it's doing it only with one value. So you can see what SACAP have done here is to calculate that equipment depreciation. Is their formula says C8 times 0,2. So the C8 is the equipment book value amount to 200,000. So you can see that's the 200,000 over where I've got it over here, 200,000. And then multiply by 0,2 is that it's shorthand for 20 divided by 100, because 20 divided by 100 gives you 0,2. Okay, so just so that you don't get confused with that, okay? And the same for that one, it's multiplied by 0,2, the asset value. So that balances. And now the other thing we need to do is we need to now do the final columns here and do the calculations. And in the here you will find guidance on the formulas. So it says here, let's go a little bit that way. The formula, this formula, which is this one, this formula applies to assets and expense line items. So in this debit column, those formulas will all be there, that one, with the relevant 888 in this case. In others it will be 9, and so on. The reference changes to the next line. Okay. So that formula applies for the debits, and then I'm saying here for income received and liability shareholders equity, the formula is different. So if we use row 19 as an example, which is over a year, then the formula will be D19, which is the creditors, I think that's the creditor value, minus E19, which is that one, because a debit decreases the creditors, plus F19. Okay, you can see that's the formula that you will use for credit numbers. So if we do that, the credit numbers over there will be equal that one minus that one plus that one, and enter, and you can see it's brought that value forward to adjust it. because there are no adjustments here, it's the same value. So now what you can do is easy way to not having to do that formula the whole time is what you do is with your cursor there, with that cell active, that's the cell. What you can do is you copy here, okay, copy. So you copy, and you can see how that is now indicated to say that that is now a cell that has been copied. You go down to this row 6 to copy the formula in there for that credit, and you can say under paste, you click that down button and you say you want to paste the formula over the FX. Okay, so there's the formula in there. It's still highlighted, so you can go to all the credits and just copy the formula accordingly. So you go to paste it accordingly. Paste formula, you can see there. There's another credit amount. Yeah, what was that? Was that consulting fees, I think? Consulting fees received, yeah. So you just do a copy, paste there rather. Formula. Any other credit amounts? I think those are them. Okay. Let me just do a sum so long equal sum for that column. So that is 7481.56. So let's just do the debit column, and remember the C8, E8, F8 formula, C8 plus E8 minus F8 for row 8 is an example, which is over there. So we can do the same here. We can copy the formula, copy, see it's highlighted. This one is already done for us. Where are the other? There's a debit here for land and buildings. So let's paste the formula in there. And then we can do this up to there. So we highlighted all those cells because all of these are debits, and we can paste the same formula in there. Okay. Debits, all debits. Is that right? Oh, cleaning as well. To there. And this is a creditor. We've already done that. There's a debit. Okay. And we can paste the formula in there. And let's now see if, there's another, we have two other debits here. They would be bad debts, would always be a debit. Loss on sale would be a debit, so we need to paste it in there as well. Okay, now we can see if our trial balance balances. If it doesn't, we just have to troubleshoot it. So I'm just going to highlight this whole lot here as a sum. Okay, so there's a problem here. So let's just see where the problem is. Equal sum. Why is there a circular reference? Okay, let's see there. Okay, that was just a finger problem. So you can see the debit 7,481,562 equals the credit value of 7,481,562. The accounting equation, assets minus assets equals liabilities plus equity. So your balancing check is this here. There's a formula in there which says G35, which is G35, and H35, which is H35. If you deduct the one from the other, for the accounting equation to be valid, that needs to be 0. In other words, that sign there, the minus sign, tells you that it's the hyphen rather tells you that it is 0. That's the indicator for the cell formatting there to indicate the 0. The same over there. There's another formula that checks that one, rather this one, and that one, and this one checks that one and that one. So hopefully this has been helpful to you, and if you have any problems, just contact me, and otherwise good luck with the exercise. Thank you.